Welcome to Impulse, the podcast of Rayhan Ventures on all things tech, innovation, and entrepreneurial. My name is Niels Wagner, and today we have another Founders Talk session. I'm joined by Maximilian and Dimitri from the startup ConnectedCrafts, and look forward to learning more about the impact that they want to have on the construction industry, as well as learning a little bit more about their lives as co-founders. So Max and Dimi, welcome to the podcast. So you guys want to have a significant impact on the construction industry, and you want to really revolutionize the way tradespeople or skilled labor come to work and to their jobs. So what do we need to understand about what it is that you do exactly? Max, do you want to take us on a short pitch to your value proposition?
Sure. I think we started with the idea of connected crafts due to the fact that we have a really big shortage in the craftsmanship and construction industry. And I think due to the fact that I'm coming from that industry and have worked a long time there, I know how difficult it is to find the right person for specific tasks. And exactly at that problem, we started to do research in, and we really connected with a lot of companies who told us that they have the same issues not finding the right skilled person for their job. At the end, we said exactly here, we can help them to benefit from the digital parts, so from the internet and from also where we're able to connect together. And we came up with the idea of Connected Crafts to, first of all, bring together skilled craftsmen and skilled talents and companies who are looking exactly for a certain profile, and as well to have always the community in mind, because I think at the end, the community of the craftsmanship industry as well as the construction industry is really, really strong, and we want to connect them both in order to have a real impact and help them to digitize their daily workflows.
So, I mean, maybe also just for some listeners who are not as familiar with the construction industry, in Central Europe, we face a kind of paradoxical situation where actually there's a huge demand for new construction of housing, for renovation of buildings, also making buildings more energy efficient. So there's a huge demand, but there's a huge backlog because construction companies, contractors, they just can't find the right skilled laborers to actually do the job. So this is where you're coming in, and maybe Max, just explain a little bit more about the markets that you're focused on, because so far you're mainly looking at Europe, and so where are you trying to connect skilled labor with potential employers?
Due to the fact that I did my apprenticeship here in Germany, I'm really familiar with the craftsmanship companies in here. And also I started back then on a company together with my parents where we have been a lot of interaction with them. That's why, first of all, we want to really showcase that we can have an impact on it and we are able to run it here in Germany. So we want to connect German companies with talents out of Europe. But really fast, we want to expand, of course, in other countries, because as well as France and Spain facing shortage of skilled labor, this problem is way beyond that. Same happens in the US, same happens in China, as well as in third-party countries. Definitely, we just want to prove that what we are currently doing helps the persons and the people. And then we want to rapidly expand it into other countries to really have this global approach.
Okay, so just to make it a bit more tangible, if you're an electrician based in Hungary and you're a contractor in Germany, you're lacking electricians, and what you're doing is really connecting then these two parties, so
Right.
that then the electrician in Hungary can come to Germany to work. Okay, clear. And Dimitri, maybe from your perspective, you're coming a bit more from the technical side, while Max really knows the market and has firsthand experience in the market. So what are you, from a technical perspective, how are you making this all happen? Give us a bit of a peek behind the scenes there.
So from my point of view, first what I need to do is to understand the problem. So why is it so? Why we have this lack of skilled laborers? So in Germany or in each country. So this is actually, so one of reason is we was actually in last centuries very academic driven in our education. That's why this is one of reasons why we are missing some people on the other non-academic area. This is the point one. Point two is if we analyze and if we look at professions and some degrees in non-academic area, we see that this area is not really internationally fit. So if we are talking about language barriers, if we're talking about some degrees, but not really what is quite where it's quite difficult to find some equivalents in other countries. So we know, for example, just provide one example, we know, so from academic area, for example, bachelor and master, this is actually the same in all countries. So what about German's levels like Geselle, Meister, so who you are in other countries? So this is quite difficult. So, and this is first what we're providing to our customers. So we can, each customer in our platform will be able to see what is exactly the equivalent to the position, what I'm looking for.
Okay, so you're not just connecting employers and crafts or tradespeople, you're then also translating the different qualification levels in the different markets and helping in matching those.
Exactly.
Because different than in academia, actually in the practical professions and in the vocational trainings, you have quite different qualification levels from country to country. And so you're also helping to navigate that. Dimitri, what actually then brings you to Connected Crafts? We heard from Max already a little bit that he has firsthand experience in that kind of labor and the industry sector. What brings you to the table here, to the discussion?
What brings me to ConnectedCrafts is a great question. Thank you for that. So, and my background is actually more marketing and business driven, but from my mindset, I'm a guy who try all the time to solve the problem by technology. So to find, so first of them, so I need to see some problem on the business side and then to try to solve them by technology. This is what I'm driving for. So, and that's why I guess this is, as I saw similar problem here, because in my career, so especially last 6 years, I was busy with the recruitment industry. So in different areas, not really with crafts industry, but other functions. And I saw similar problems and similar issues on all other industries. So, and this is what I'm driven. So at the moment, and I see we have the right skill set at the moment to solve this problem and to provide the right solution to our customers.
Okay, so I think, of course, your experience in recruiting is obviously very beneficial to this venture. But maybe Max, can we just go back to the industry? You mentioned that you have some firsthand experience. But maybe tell us a little bit more about how you see this industry today, also in terms of the challenge to find a skilled labor. I mean, you've been now diving deeper into this topic for, I guess, a bit over a year now at least. So give us some more insights on what's really driving that industry in terms of their pain points.
Totally. I think I want to just quickly get back to the point that Dimitri mentioned already. I think from a past perspective, we were really just relying on academics. We were just trying to drive forward the educational part. So a lot of people wanted to study and didn't really did an apprenticeship in a craftsman sector. This is one of the problems. Second one is that right now, the demographical change that we are having is also a really big issue. there's a lot of people who are closing down their businesses in the craftsmanship area, but there are not anyone coming next who can take over that, because we have this big gap of persons or young generations that because they didn't want to do an apprenticeship, but they wanted to study. And these are the big issues that we are having right now. And this results since more than 10 years. And right now, we are really facing huge numbers in that area. We work together with an unemployment agency here in Germany, where we found out, and from an online statistic, found out that right now 270,000 job postings were opened each individual year in the craftsmanship sector. But in our investigation that we did, and also the talks that we had with the several companies, only a third of them are doing that. So the problem is at the end way, way bigger than it really appears in the first hand. And if they're lacking already 1 million skilled people only in Germany, we are not able to solve that problem by just only recruiting persons out of Germany. And therefore, we need to look a little bit abroad from persons who want to change their life and who want to come to Germany or even individual to another country and have the skill set, and we can replace them, or we can place them at those jobs in order to minimize. We will definitely not solving it at the end. We're just able to minimize it, because 1 million people, and even though the problem gets way bigger, if we look to 2030, there are researchers and studies, they tell us we are lacking over 4 million people up to 2030, and we will definitely not able to solve that by just only have that in our country, but also not by immigration. We can just minimize it.
I mean, it may be just important to really drive home the point that this is a significant, actually a dramatic socioeconomic structural problem that we're facing here. And like you said, it's basically being compounded not just by the fact that we have a current demand in terms of the construction industry that can't be met with skilled labor. On top of that, you have the whole baby boom generation. So, people who were able to build successful businesses, a plumbing company, electric installation company, HVAC, all of these different basically branches within the construction industry that, post World War II really had quite a successful arc. They are now at the point where they're not able to find successors. The business owners are going into retirement, and that means the problem is getting worse as we go forward.
And of course, like the ambitious goals that we have here in Germany with net zero is driving that tremendously. In addition,
yeah, net zero plus then just demand for new construction. There's not enough housing in the market, and maybe the paradoxical situation is that all the academic degrees currently are more under threat through AI in terms of being replaced by AI, whereas actually labor, crafts or trades actually currently is not. So potentially you'll have academics without a job going forward, and still have a huge lack of skilled manual labor. So hopefully there's also a bit of a shift in terms of how society values these different professions. And hopefully young people will also be maybe in future more interested in focusing on these trades or craft professions. But until then, you guys are here to help solve this labor arbitrage problem, which, by the way, is it's a very similar situation in the US, basically the same. So huge, basically over demand, not enough skilled labor, and also there, businesses closing down because business owners are going into retirement and no successors are to be found. But Dimitri, maybe coming over to you again, in your quest now to really try to address this issue, this dramatic issue, maybe just put a bit of meat on the bone in terms of how this actually works. So, what is the platform? What is the tool? What really happens on a supply and on a demand side for our listeners? How do they need to imagine this Connected Crafts as a platform?
So, thank you for your question, Niels. Let's start from scratch. What we're actually doing is we see some trends. So, for example, if you take some construction site in Germany, whatever you are, so you will identify not so much people are speaking German. So, on this construction site, so it means we already have this trend. So, to getting people from abroad. So, what we're actually providing is their better product to make this getting people from abroad much more easily. So it means what it means easily. So it means as a craftsman, you can sign up on the platform, you can create your profile, you can provide with help from AI your skills, you can make your skills finally visible for other people in all languages of this world. So on the other side, on the side from the company, there's actually same. For sure, you can post your job posting in, and we can translate it in each language you need. So we make this job posting available for all people in the world, and we can make it available not only based on description or job title. We can extract skills, and what we're making in the platform, we just bring them together based on AI logic. So it means we match people based on their skills.
Okay, so it's not just a common job portal. Again, it's really the chance to match on a deeper level skills or talents to job postings and do that not only in terms of making the qualifications transparent, but then also acting kind of as an active translator. Is that correct?
That's correctly. So we know the situations or similar situation on all technical professions, to be honest. So software development, for example, or designers or whatever, engineers. So this is always the same for those people. That's not so easy. So in comparison to business administration, to provide who you are, what you can, what is your focus. So in your qualification, in your education, and in your career. So, and this is what we are doing quite well. So we can provide the skills, the right skill set to the right company, and we can provide later the right mindset to the right company. And this is the core values of our platform.
Okay, and can you talk a little bit about your traction? I mean, you've had, I think, an MVP up and running for several months, and I think now you're really been live now with the platform also for a month or two. What's the traction that you're getting out there in the market?
Yeah, that was a hard job from the whole development team. Many thanks for that. So to all guys who did this job, we just provided our MVP a few weeks ago. At the moment, we are on validation of the MVP, validation of the product. We are looking at their traction, sign-ups numbers, what the user are doing on the platform, what their barriers they have, and try to optimize them first of all. And this is the one strategy, and the other strategy, a further development of the platform. So we are looking in the core values. So, for example, skill set, how we can do that in the best way. So we're already using AI, Gen AI for that, and getting great results. And we will roll out step by step in next month. So this is our daily doing. So
I think speaking number wise, we are really having right now around over 2,000 talents on the platform. We are working together with 15 companies, having already 27 job postings online on the platform, where multiple applications are coming in. So we see that there is a lot of traction on that, and that's also the people are really taking that what we have built in and really working with it and enjoying with it, because at the end it's not only that you are able to recruit the talents, but also there's a lot of part of the talents that need to be done, especially typing information, because only if the profiles are getting filled out, then we see, or we are able to really make a match at the end, because therefore we extracting the skills. And we see that really most of the people who are coming on our platform are filling out their profile to an extent what is typically not normal. Especially, we are really having high barriers to get into the platform by asking them really personal questions. If you don't provide that to us, you are not able to get an account on our platform. And really, a lot of those people are willing to give information because they are looking for a job or a company, especially here in Germany. We have that big problem. They are really willing to do the extra step, the extra mile, going the extra mile in order to get really someone new into their business.
Okay, so I mean, for an MVP now to already have a couple of thousand of talent signed up, and also now a couple of dozen employers signed up as well is definitely promising. And I gather from what you're saying that there's a high level of engagement on both sides. So that's also, I think, pointing in the right direction in terms of not just addressing a need, but also really offering, a good value proposition to both sides. So obviously now in the next months, you guys are going to work hard on continuing to expand the platform, getting more people signed up on both ends, and then obviously, hopefully, you then also are successful in really filling positions, because that, of course, right now is the focus. But if we maybe take a bit of a step back, Max, what's your kind of long-term vision beyond that? Do you see other features kind of on your product roadmap that are relevant, and you want to share a little bit where you could see such a platform going in the future?
I think overall we want to really become the next go-to management platform for the craftsmanship sector or construction sector, let's name it in one sentence. But we can go also beyond that. I think right now what is really, really missing in the industry is that craftsmen can connect with each other. And this is exactly where we see ourselves in the future. So at the end is we are having, just speak about numbers. In Germany alone, we are having at around 5 million people working in the craftsmanship sector. Extended to Europe, we are having around 25 million. If we are looking for all over the world, taking the same numbers, we are looking for roughly about 500 million people who are just working in that field, and really in that narrow field, and just connecting them, helping them to digitize their lives, just not only by bringing together a company and a talent, but for example, helping them to, if you're looking from a company perspective, helping them by legal questions, because we are right now targeting, if I think we need to put that a little bit in perspective, what we are targeting. We are looking at the small and medium-sized companies, because big companies, they have solutions in place for every single task, such as they have an own HR department, they have their own legal department. But what we really want to help is those small and medium-sized companies who are not able to afford that kind of labor and expertise. And they need normally to buy that expensively externally. And we want to help them to really bring that more into their daily life, helping them with legal questions, helping them with training and certification. Dimitri already said that before, that there's a huge intransparency in the market. So just compare yourself with a German electrician or a US electrician. What did the US electrician learn on more than the German electrician learned, or vice versa? So what are my capabilities if I'm moving from as a German electrician to the US? What did I learn more, or did I learn less in comparison to the person there in another country? So this is a little bit where we want to really help them also get those training and certifications in the futures to meet exactly the required education at the end.
Okay, so besides, let's say, the matching and labor arbitrage part, you do envision a whole suite of services for, on the one hand, these small and medium-sized enterprises who don't have sophisticated structures and tools at hand, as well as a suite of services and a platform for, let's say, exchange for crafts and trade people. Okay. Well, sounds exciting. I mean, definitely, we're all keeping our fingers crossed that you're successful on that route. But let's just maybe try and talk a little bit about another aspect. You two are co-founders, and so you two are spending a lot of time with each other day and night to really make sure Connected Crafts gets traction and makes it now to the next level. Dimitri, who are you seeing more often at the moment? Is that your wife or Max? Give us a bit of insight into your daily life there.
Thank you, Niels. Quite difficult the question. So let me say I'm trying to get the best balance. So in my private life and work, so for sure at the moment, so I get some sleep. So, but if I'm sleeping, so what I see there are some numbers, some features, and so on. So it means with my mind, I'm anywhere. So else not in my bed. So and this is actually sometimes the problem. So if I'm playing with my children, it's the same. So I'm physical, I'm there, but my mind is anywhere else. So this is actually what is really quite difficult in this phase.
Yeah. I mean, you do need an unreasonable level of commitment to be a successful startup entrepreneur. That's clear. What about you, Max? How are you experiencing this time as a co-founder?
I would say, coming from a company who worked in startup, I know that you're jumping from topic to topic to topic, and you do not really know which one you need to do first because everything has priorities. So I think to be structured is something which helped me a lot in order to get those tasks. But at the end, sometimes you're working the whole day, and at the end of the day, you think, okay, I didn't really do anything like from the tasks I needed to do, and therefore, of course, there are some days where you really work long, and some nights where you really work long. But I guess with Dimitri, I have a really extraordinary person on my side who is able to retranslate my language, which is not that technical, into those technical parts, and this is helping me really a lot because from my point of view, there's a lot of things in my mind, a lot of stuff I wanted to do and we want to really bring on the platform. But Dimitri is really taking that things, structuring it down on a technical way, and if I didn't have him, I'm not pretty sure if we are really able at that point where we are, because from the technical point of view, I am not really the person who is able to translate it for our programmers. Therefore, I think we have extremely a really, really good mindset that I'm taking care of the business parts and he's taking care of the product parts, because there is really the strength of, I think, both of them.
Yeah, I mean, that in the startup ecosystem, we always talk about investing in people, investing in teams, and having been able to observe you two, I really think that's you complement each other very well. And I think with your high level of dedication, that's definitely something that's speaking for you. But talking about investors now, so Rayhanu Ventures has provided the seed investment to get you where you are today, but you're now looking for further investors for another round of seed investment. Can you share a little bit what your experiences are there? Just also for our listeners, what does that part of your work look like currently?
Definitely. I think we have already the commitment from Rehau where they put in already a huge amount of money. And now we, of course, want to expand our business and looking for new investors. I think there's a two-sided meaning from for myself. First of all, it's really exciting meeting new people, pitching the solution. From every single day, you're getting better, and you can explain yourself better, and really bring out those parts where you're outstanding and what is unique because of your solution. On the other hand, of course, it's also depressing because if they are not telling you, yes, we want you, this is a setback, of course. But yes, I worked in sales before and I know how to deal with setbacks. And I think only you can always learn from every single talk with someone. You learn and you know how you need to position yourself better and where you probably need to be also from visionary wise. If there are new sectors what we can implement in the future, and you learn so much that I think every single pitch that we are doing is really worth the time that we are investing in, even though that we are still looking for those second investment. But right now we are really on a good way and a good path, also having a team behind it and a lot of help from Rehau that we getting provided. I think this is driving us really forward.
And look, I mean, we all know that in the last 18 to 24 months, the investment climate in the VC world has changed a lot. Also, investors are now looking for more traction. So they're, less willing to buy the growth story, but they really want to see real traction in terms of, actual revenue being generated. So that's why, again, with that positive feedback that you're getting from the market with talent and future employers signing up, I think your case grows stronger almost on a daily basis. Great. Well, look, definitely, fundraising is an important part of, the life of an entrepreneur, of a startup entrepreneur. So, keep resilient, stay at it, don't give up, don't get disappointed. Maybe 100 no's then leads to the one final yes, which is at the end of the day, then all you need. So good to have, you with your experience in sales. That's definitely where, you get tuned in terms of resilience. So look, gentlemen, time has flown by. Let's wrap it up here. I'm sure we'll be checking in with you guys a little bit further down the road. So if we check in with you again, I'm sure you'll have found your investment. I'm sure you'll have successfully filled positions with talent in Europe for employers in Germany and maybe also other markets. So we continue to keep our fingers crossed, and best of luck to you. So that was it for today's Founder Talk, dear listeners. Please tune in next time, and don't forget to follow our podcast on any platform where you get your podcasts, namely Apple Podcast and Spotify. So please sign up and tune in next time for Impulse from Rehau New Ventures. Thank you. Over and out.